Men deserve more than modern women. Feminists, modern women, girl bosses, and narcissists are a massive turnoff for men. The end of marriage and family has arrived. Who would have predicted that human procreation would end with a whimper like this? Can the end of the world be far behind? Over the last decade, there has been exponential growth in online dating. With the development of new, interactive technologies, there has been a sharp increase in the number of people looking for both short and long-term companions online. The emergence of older women on these applications, who now have more digital ways to express their preferences, qualities, and experiences, is one distinctive feature of contemporary online dating. To test this out, I tried my hand at online dating apps. I downloaded a few dating apps. By a few, I mean all of them. What I have discovered is that all the attractive ones were baby mamas. Those that are not out of shape are across multiple apps. Fellas, find a country you like and start visiting there. Most women in other countries date by reference. This means her friends or family must recommend you. So, it's a process that automatically verifies the authenticity of your dating choice. It's not just a guess based on some images and words written about them online. Given the percentage of men versus women on these dating applications, why would any man who is not Chad even pay for these applications? As you all know, women only date up. They don't look for men who are below their socioeconomic status. So, these corporate women are now looking for good-looking men, preferably younger, who are highly successful and earn at least the same amount of money as themselves, or more. They're looking for a man who can come into their lives and fulfill their need of having children. The manipulation has already begun. They're not going to wait around for a guy who doesn't want to have children right away. They're women who are focused, and their focus is clear. The men who date them will get manipulated into expediting their agenda because they are seasoned negotiators who know how to persuade through their bodies and emotions. They know they only have a couple of years left to get pregnant, and they're going to bring their A game to the online dating table. Then we have women who have had their fair share of fame and glory. They have spent the last decade of their prime dating men from different backgrounds, ages, and income brackets. These are the girls every guy wanted in high school. They were the women who frequented bars and nightclubs throughout their 20s and had fling after fling after fling. They enjoyed their lives to the fullest. They broke many hearts and exploited many men to have their way with them. Now, their reality is slowly starting to hit them. They've realized things are not the same anymore. They're getting wrinkles on their faces. Their bodies don't have the strength and agility they once had. They don't get the same amount of attention that they used to get from men. And it is at this time it dawns upon them that they might have wasted a good decade doing nothing for their future. They see their female friends getting married and having and raising babies, and their innate nature to give birth and nurture the young takes over. Since they're too old to keep hitting the same bars and clubs and barely get the attention they were used to, they resort to online dating. They join these websites, download the apps, and create pretty profiles looking for men whom they want to settle down with. Most of these women, the ones who embrace reality, say that they want to settle down up front and leave the rest to fate, to see if they can meet the man of their dreams online. However, there's another subgroup that still wants to have her own way and manipulate some naive man into getting into a long-term relationship with her so that she can fund and finance the rest of her life, get out of debt, maybe even have children, and then live off a divorce and alimony. Then we also have older single mothers who have divorced their previous husbands and who now want to be with other men willing to provide for the standard of living they're used to and help them take care of their children as well. The single mother is obviously looking for someone wealthy who has the resources and energy to help her feed her children and fund their lifestyles. Here's the thing about single mothers. You will hardly come across any single mother who will be open about her past relationships with you. And by open, I mean that she won't ever be completely honest with you. You'll hardly ever encounter a woman who will say that she got divorced because she made a mistake, or that she cheated with someone, or that she just had a change of heart and didn't want to be with the same man forever. As harsh as it sounds, single mothers are notorious for using men to find wealthier men They find well-to-do men and then try to move up from there until they are finally with someone with whom they can afford everything and never have to worry about money. Simply put, money is the biggest obstacle in their lives. Without it, they can't feed their children, buy their clothes, and run the kitchen. A single woman without children can still afford for herself, even if she has a mediocre job. That's something that a single mother cannot do. There's another category of women who lurk in the online dating arena. These are women who never really got the attention of men as they grew old. These are women who were overweight and who were considered unattractive by men and women throughout their lives. These are the women who swipe right at every guy they come across on Tinder. Dating is as tough for them as it is for unattractive men. And yet, these women live on hope and expect some guy to fall for them online so they can live the rest of their lives just the way they have lived their lives before, without putting in the effort to better themselves. So, what is it that all these women have in common and don't realize? Well, these are all women who grew up with men idolizing them and giving them free attention throughout their teens and 20s, up to their early 30s. They're used to the attention. They're used to the thirsty men who desperately do anything to get in their pants or have a relationship with them. They're so used to the automatic attention from the other gender that they think they'll still receive it as they go on to their 40s. It's true that some of them might, but that attention will be from naive, low-value men who have nothing better to do with their own lives. The attention they want from high-value men is something they won't get now. This is because men have realized that their time and attention are valuable and definitely not free. Men are increasingly going their own way after having experienced the true nature of women, and how women use and exploit men for their own agendas. And this is something these women are also slowly realizing today. They know that most men are now of the view that they'd rather live their lives without women than with a woman and the consequential drama and financial risk associated with being with them. This makes these women, who are now more like online predators, even more desperate to find a man who can fund and finance their lives. The elderly women you see on dating apps today are the same women who were supposed to be strong and successful, independent women in the past. They're the same women now who whine all the time and radiate negativity across the internet. You guys need to keep in mind that these ladies have had years to try and change their negative habits and perhaps meet a nice man. A lot of these women were once married. However, they believed they could advance on their husbands, so they betrayed them, took their children and money, and then returned to the dating scene with the hope that they would bypass all the other women and land a top-tier man again. Wrong. Men have realized, and these older women now have no choice but to actually settle for someone they won't like. Never feel sorry for any of these women, or try to save them because they volunteer to put themselves in that position, in the hopes of getting a bigger and better deal. But the reality is frequently cruel, because all that most of these post-war women received was someone who didn't want to commit to them like they wanted. When younger women are at their prime and easier to find than ever before, why would men prefer to date an older woman? This is especially true in the current economic climate when we are on the verge of another recession and things are getting difficult. Guys with money can choose to date young, attractive ladies rather than old and bitter women. Do you believe that women should expect men to take care of them and never give anything in return other than drama and extramarital affairs?